This is a video I didn't want to make so soon. When I started the Moneyshift channel, the goal has always been and will always be to give you, the consumer, enough confidence to either buy the car or skip the car. That means making endless content on endless vehicles because there's just so many cars out there. So I'm trying my best to cover them all. We've covered Polestar, Kona N, Bronco, Maverick Hybrid, this Integra. We've covered so many cars on this channel, and tons of you have said, hey, thanks to your videos, I've either bought the car or I've made another decision, and that's exactly what I'm hoping for. So when I buy a car, I try not to get too attached because I know that there's an expiration date on that vehicle. And this Integra, well, it started off as no different. I knew that there was going to be one day that would come along where this car would have to leave my driveway. You see, because Moneyshift, we're not OEM backed, we're not a part of a big press organization that gets access to press loaners, although I love that. So shout out to the OEMs that Moneyshift has had some conversations with in the last 2 weeks. You guys know who you are, and you've been amazing, and hopefully we can work together in the coming months. But that doesn't change where we are today. Today, I'm buying all of these cars with my money, and I'm recording them, editing them, putting out these videos for you guys, because I really enjoy it. I enjoy having different automotive experiences. I enjoy finding all the little nuances of each car. I enjoy bringing that info to you because, let's be honest, cars aren't cheap. I mean, hell, this Integra that we're sitting in is $52,000. The Polestar that I drove, $50,000. The Kona N, $35,000. The Bronco, $35,000. The Maverick, $34,000 or $30,000, right? These cars aren't cheap. So you need to know more than just the, hey, I drove it for 5 minutes and it was really great, you should buy one. And that involves MPG testing, the things you like, the things you don't like, putting thousands of miles behind a vehicle to give you that unbiased opinion on whether something is good or bad. Because let's be honest, some of the cars I've driven, I've really liked. Some of the cars I've owned, I've really disliked, right? And there's been everything in between. But there's always an end date. And with some cars, it's a lot easier than others, right? Because either I didn't have an attachment to it or I was really excited for that next thing. But for this car, man, I was getting emotional just starting to make this video because of how much I have been enjoying this Acura Integra Type S. And it's pretty easy to see why. Tiger eye pearl paint aside, this Acura Integra just looks the part. The wide fenders, the wheels, the tires, the brakes, the more aggressive bumper, the hood. Acura with the Integra Type S created a vehicle that was aggressive and yet luxurious. A car that seemed playful and yet it was professional at the exact same time. And that is what makes this move that much harder. This Integra is the type of vehicle that really combines a lot of elements that I look for in an optimal daily driver. You have the power, 320 horsepower. You have an excellent manual transmission. You have a supremely comfortable ride, and you have a limited slip differential, brakes, and tires to back it up. And oh, by the way, because this is an NA-only car, you have an exhaust that pops, that bangs, that gives you that little element of fun that you're looking for that's missing in a lot of other vehicles. This Acura Integra Type S is the best daily driver under $100,000, and it's not even close. So that brings us to the end of this video and the end of the Acura Integra Type S series. And I got to be honest with you guys, it does actually kind of mess me up a little bit. When I bought this car, it rekindled all of the flames that I had when I first started out in the automotive world. My '09 TSX, that car made me like feel a part of so many different places There were different communities, the Acura community, the local car community, the track community, the autocross community that I met because of that car. And as a young kid who was like, you know, kind of like most, struggling to figure out where their place is and all that jazz, when I was in that car, I had a place. It was awesome. From that point, I was searching to find that feeling again, and I found it with this car. This Acura rekindled all the same feelings that my original, the first Acura that I had gave me. It put me right back in those communities. It gave me that sense behind the wheel that '09 Acura did when I was a 16, 17-year-old kid. I'm struggling for words because of how much this car has meant to me. And I know that sounds crazy that a car can have that impact on somebody, but it's true. Like, I do believe that you embody the vehicle you're driving. It gives you a sense of confidence. Maybe it gives you, it's an article of clothing, right? The vehicle that you get in is no different than the clothes that you put on. And this Acura made me feel like unstoppable. So this is going to be a really tough one to give up. Really tough one. And I'm saving the VIN because I want this car back. When we get OEM support and my daily driver means less to the channel, I'm going to find this car again. This exact car I'm going to find again because it's going to make its way back into my driveway. Because I'm at a loss for words because of how much I've loved this car. When I made that video that it was the best daily under 100,000, I meant it. The feeling this car gives you, the driving experience, the comfort, the features is just unmatched. For the price, for the segment, just for my emotional feeling, if I got to be honest with you. So this is a tough video to close out, but we have to close it out. This is the end of the Acura Integra Type S arc for now. Because mark my words, the moment Moneyshift has some OEM support where we are getting an influx of cars that are different to this channel, and it means less what I'm driving every day, this exact Integra, I'm going to find it, and it's going to come back into my driveway. This is a really tough video, but thank you guys for sticking around. I hope if you're a first-time money shifter that you now understand what I'm trying to do here. And I hope that my emotion conveys how much, like how good this car actually is. Yes, there's no sunroof. Yes, there's no ventilated seats, but drive it. And I promise you, you won't even think about those two things that are missing. It won't even cross your mind because this car is that good. I'm Moneyshift. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.